So this was the garage the day we took possession of the house, and wow, was it bad. But things got better. So I chipped away at it for 3 years, got the drywall up, finished the floor, made it brighter, but now it's time to finish it off. The plan was to just put up some drywall in the ceiling, throw in some insulation, and make it nice and bright and warm. Of course, I would lose the space that I had for my bicycles. So my mind went to work, and off I went. It's pretty messy. I was all gung-ho with the concept. I measured, I got all my drywall, I was just ready to go, and then reality sets in and you realize that's step 776, and you've got 775 things to do before that. So I've been toiling away, checking whether the joists are leveled or not, so there's going to need some blocking, sistering of joists. There has to be all around the perimeter. I had to put up something to attach the drywall to, so there's a 2x2 trim just for the drywall to hang on to up against the, I guess the firewall to the inside attic there. That's a whole other story. Why that's open, that's for another day. In the meantime, I did decide I wanted to go with an electric heater, and there's this 5,000 watt Dynaglow Pro. And then I discovered that the price of copper, right over here, was well more than the heater itself. $220 for 75 feet of 10.3, because I'm going to put a proper thermostat on it. $159 for the heater. So copper prices. They're the lumber prices of 2021. Anyway, before moving on, my custom one-of-a-kind raise the bikes to the cathedral ceiling inside the rafters project continues. It doesn't look great because I had to cut it up into a million pieces to get it to fit up in there and then turn it sideways. So there's gonna be a lot of mudding and finishing up there. Not that anyone's gonna look, but it would drive me nuts. Some severe OCD going on here. Anyway, so that's going to actually, that little cavity, double width joist, is going to have flat drywall on that side, flat drywall sort of encasing it, and then the bike hoists are going to go in there, and then in the winter the bikes go to live up there, because my garage is full of other crap. Onwards. Well, where'd the heater go? I found some guy on YouTube that made his big 5,000 watt heater work with a low voltage thermostat. And I meticulously watched his video over and over and over until I was able to create a schematic of what he did. I bought the two parts. This is live, so I'm not going to touch it. I bought this contactor made by Packard. I bought this 120 or 240 to 24 AC transformer. Followed this, and we're going to give it a whirl. So it's turned the knob, the thermostat, since it's not going to be used, is turned on. But it's not generating any heat because this thermostat is off. Let's see here. Heat. And if I can get my thumb over there. Very anticlimactic. So this thermostat came from Amazon warehouse deal. The clip holding the C-wire into the back of it was broken when it arrived, and that's why it was $80. So it's going back. Let's try that again. Here I am again. I got fed up with the old thermostat with the broken C-wire clip, so I stopped videoing that last attempt and sent that back, and here we are 2 days later. Amazon delivered another one. Just connected it. Just testing it. Got a test wire up there where it's going to live. I've got everything just mangled in here, but connected where it should be. And we're going to see whether turning the heat on makes heat or melts down this little contraption. And we just give up on this idea. Let's see. Heat. Click. Fan on. Looks promising. Actually looks very promising. Heater makes heat. That's encouraging. Okay. Does it turn off on command? Holy cow. The internet delivered. Well, YouTube. One-of-a-kind bike lift up into ceiling, finished ceiling into the rafters. One-of-a-kind, or destined to be one-of-a-kind and only last of its kind, because it sucks. We'll see. So I'm mounting these brackets here. I got one more to go in the middle. 2x8 will span that, and it will hold one set of the pulleys up and down straight here. And the other set of pulleys will be on a 2x8 over here. I had it mounted like this just without the drywall before all this started, and it worked really well, which is why I want to keep it. But whether it's going to work recessed into sort of a vaulted cavity in my soon-to-be finished ceiling remains to be seen. After days and days of futzing about with electrical and the bicycle spot and who knows, moving the insulation over, fixing above the laundry room. Today is drywall day. Well, the beginning of drywall. Rented a lift, 50 bucks for a week from a guy down the street that I found on a classified ad app. And off we go. For better or for worse. It starts now. Because of my slow and meticulous ways, this probably took longer than it needed to, but I had to move all the electrical in the garage because when I put it in initially, I had not planned on having a ceiling right here. So now we've got a cutoff switch down here for the outside soffit lights. I had to move a junction box. I put in a an outlet here for the outside security lights, which are very low current, and it just, I don't know, in my mind I just wanted it somewhere above where the blown-in insulation is going to be so I can see it should I ever need to crawl out here and replace one of them. I've got the box for the bicycles recessed up into the ceiling. That's pretty much done and ready for paint on the inside. Actually, it looks pretty good from over here. And I had to move some other electrical up and out of the way so I could access it after the blown-in insulation's in. I just want to be able to see where this stuff is in case I ever need to access it. Aside from that, next I need to do something about some soffit guards so the insulation doesn't go in there. I didn't buy the pre-made ones because they're like $5 and made of thin styrofoam. I felt one and it tore in my hand, so we're gonna MacGyver it. Doesn't look like much, but 2 bicycles are going to live in here in the winter. Just some taping, plug that little hole, done. Storage platform done. I didn't want to wait for the blown in, so I put R14 Rockwool under the plywood. Leftover fiberglass in that little spot, and Rockwool over here. Gonna have a couple of very bright lights. Gonna put another dam made of that rigid foam that's over in the corner there to hold back the blown in for the rest of the space on both sides. It's hard to believe this was the same attic area as a week ago. This is looking totally different and incredibly useful now. So far so good. Onwards. Get behind me.
Yeah.
weeks of planning and extraordinarily dicey, but it's down. Yesterday was 2 coats of sheetrock 90, which in actuality was more like sheetrock 30 or 25. I think the low humidity just sets that stuff off, and man, it's like a hard Play-Doh after 30 minutes. So lesson learned. Good luck using the 45. So 2 coats went on in a matter of 2.5 hours. That was incredible. And today I'm just using regular general purpose. I've done a finish coat on everything except this one last seam here. Looking pretty good. It is a 9-foot ceiling with very powerful lights shining down. Nobody's going to see a thing. It's going to be pretty good though. Perhaps not perfect, but we will see. That's the final one there. Brand new garage door opener. And a whole bunch of holes for insulation and whatnot to come all along here. Dense packing walls looked pretty straightforward on YouTube. I will say that there's a definite learning curve. And I'm going to warn you, this looks brutal, but it's done. One side of the room is done anyway. There was a learning curve until I figured out what was going to be needed to be done. And 2 holes per cavity is it. And there was a few exploratory holes that did find some fire blocks and empty spots. So there's going to be some patching involved. Holy cow. But 2 holes per cavity, and that took about 2 hours. Still have another wall to go. And then the attic. Good fun. It's been slow, but a fair bit of work has been accomplished. Not a lot of filming. Finished the trim to the ceiling. Painted the back brick wall a couple of times. It looks much better than it did. Got the heater back up in its final position with the smart thermostat right there. Redid the garage door supports onto the new ceiling. New smart garage door opener, works wonderfully. Just gonna have to balance out the door. It's really heavy on the front end, so I don't want to burn it out. So we'll get the winding bars and tighten up the spring a bit. And today, one of the final steps, we're gonna start painting.